customers have completely switched to digitization. In that context, banking also, customers expect the same level of experience from a digitization point of view. Today, consumers don't compare banking to another bank. They compare banking to a digital experience that they get somewhere else. With the new digital enhancements across the world, I think, and the smartphone penetration, going extremely high, customers have completely switched to digitization. Today, the best thing that the customers do is most of the time talk to their phone or just follow an app on the phone, without even asking anybody else. In that context, banking also, customers expect the same level of experience from a digitization point of view. So today, consumers don't compare banking to another bank. They compare banking to a digital experience that they get somewhere else, like Netflix or Spotify or something like that. So the need of the consumer is evolving, and they want all the banks to step up to deliver the banking needs of what they want in the style that they want as well. So banking perspective in the local market as well as some of the regional markets, I think the consumers are more advanced. And the banks have to step up to ensure that we deliver what the consumers want. Also, I think the consumers continuously look at how to improve their day-to-day life. They are attached to certain digital apps, which we call a share of life today. Example, a social media platform would have about a 10% share of life from a day-to-day on a consumer basis. But a banking app, why should I log into a banking app all the time? But I think increasingly banks are challenged to incorporate banking into the consumer's lifestyle rather than getting the consumer to come in and log into our application to do banking. So I think that is the trend that the world is going on, and that is what the consumers want. I think in Sri Lanka, there's a lot of banking apps, a lot of competition, a lot of people in this space. But I think what the consumers want are at a global level today, because they won't use local platforms only. So the banks have to continuously target and evolve to bridge that gap, to ensure that the consumers do banking in their terms, not based on what the banks want in the future. So I think that is where the banking is heading, and consumers on a daily basis want banking to be seamless, just like any other platform that they are in. That is where all the banks should focus, and that is where all the tech companies also should work together with banks to ensure that we deliver that to the consumer, because the competition in the future will also be global. It's not going to be only local. So to do that, Sri Lankan banks also have to step up to ensure that you are at the same level in terms of global competition, because the world is getting smaller. So that's my view in terms of what is going to evolve in the future and how we need to, deploy innovation to get there. When we look at digital products in the bank, we always look at what will the customer want, which we call internally customer-centric digitization. So at a bank level, when we look at approach digital, what we look at is that what will the customer have at the end of this? So we're very, very focused in terms of how to derive digital products where we will enhance the consumer's lifestyle. So if I quickly talk about some of the new products that we've launched, I think FriMi relaunch happened very recently. So because we want the consumer, and the consumer wants different types of things. Today, with the new digital world, they are different to each other. They are expecting different personalized services the way they want to have. So FriMi, what we've done is, example, this is the only app in Sri Lanka where you can customize your own home screen. You can, put what you want on it, and, the widget concept on the whole banking app in terms of the FriMi app. Also, you can have customized transaction limits, customized widget settings, app settings, product settings, as well as, there is light, dark mode, which has appealed to a lot of younger folk. Also different types of payments in terms of, customization of what you want to do. That has helped different views of different requirements of different consumers to adapt to FriMi. and they can customize what they want to customize. On FriMi, when we looked at payments, customers want different types of payments. How do I integrate my app, my payment ecosystem into the other apps that I use? What we've done is we have virtual cards, the debit cards, as well as different types of payment, the scheduling efforts, subscription models, QR, and different types of payment mechanisms also enabled in this app. But more or less, we've looked at how do I make the customer's lifestyle easier. Example, without even logging into the app, you can start payment, right? We've ensured that proper security is structured there, but we've looked at the consumer's needs and tries to customize or make life easy for the consumer. Also on FriMi, there are some of the new features that we've come up with in different types of savings, different types of goal-based savings, encouraging the consumer to start saving in their own terms. And also their popular product is a thing called a round-up savings. When you do a transaction, you can round it up to 50, 100, 500 or 1,000. So, which is a very popular product among, customers who, do a lot of transactions, and invariably they start saving. So I think a lot of areas that we launched are mainly, listening to our consumer. We also just launched the new version of Nations Direct, which is our mobile banking application, where our private banking inner circle consumers can access their, first time in Sri Lanka, all the bonds, the bills, their investment portfolios, as well as insurance. And, there are a lot of other new features that we are releasing into the market, predominantly understanding what the customers would want in the future. From a bank's point of view, we are always, very, very focused on what the customers want. Our tech teams, as well as our business teams and operational teams as well, are focused on delivering what the consumers want or aligning into their current experiences with everywhere else. Without security in the future, there won't be digital. So I think we take security very, very seriously from a bank's point of view. I'm sure everybody else in the industry also has to take that very, very seriously. I think the challenge in security is also not to totally depend on what the solutions or the systems out there. It has to also be converted into practical customer journeys in terms of ensuring that the security is multi-layers. So some of the areas that we need to focus in the future is that, or which we currently do, is that we have to anticipate what sort of security threats which will come in the future, because the consumer will just think, okay, this app is just like what I use for Netflix, but the security structure for a banking ecosystem might be completely different. So we have to ensure that we think on behalf of the consumer to ensure that we have the same level of security that is required for a banking ecosystem, but also while we deliver the convenience of what they do on a day-to-day basis. That's where we are very, very focused on. We have, multi-factor authentication, which is there. We have, different types of security mechanisms that we've done from an app and a technology stack point of view. We are very, very confident that trying to deliver, what the customers would want, but they might not know what they want on a security point of view, but we're very, very focused on delivering that from a backend point of view. Also, since you asked about the market and, what we're trying to do there, educating the consumer is also very important. What is happening? What are the features? What can they do better? Also, telling them about the threats within the whole ecosystem. Fraud in the financial industry is a massive global, if I may call it, an industry. So I think that is the truth. So we have to ensure that we educate the consumers, we allocate the right budgets, so the customer also grows with us in this journey. And that is critically important to have a successful digital journey, which will support or benefit both the parties in the future. Bank this year is 25 years young. With the growth that we've had within the 25 years, that also talks about the focus and the effort that we've had on the consumer. And a digital journey is a part of our overall strategy of ensuring that we deliver what the consumer wants from us today. We are also acknowledging the fact that we have to continue to evolve, because the consumers continue to evolve. They will want different things in the future. But while we go beyond 25 years into the next decade and so on, we are very, very focused in continuing to deliver what the consumers will want. And I'm sure that the bank will also grow, and support the Sri Lankan economy, as well as be a part of the global economy, to ensure that we, take our best practices forward. In terms of bank's performance, based on the support or the digital structure, it has significantly impacted the net promoter scores that we've had from a bank's point of view, where the customers, rate us in terms of how easy it is to bank with us, how good we are compared to everything else, and how happy they are with our service on a digital front of it. So I think the net promoter scores that we've had, the transaction growth that we've had, that portrays the performance benefit that the bank has got because of digitization. And also the results of the bank also supports that whole process in terms of the transaction growth and the profitability growth as well, where we have where the digital growth and the digital platforms that we've had and we put out in the market is giving us the best results possible to ensure that we grow further.